Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Update 1 Musk's xAI set to launch first AI model to select group. Singapore may review past takeovers on national security grounds. US chip export controls expose China's weak link in the semiconductor supply chain. OpenAI to make models cheaper, more powerful in its first developer conference. Update 1 FTC Chair Lina Khan looks for allies and leads in Silicon Valley charm offensive. Update 1 Musk's xAI set to launch first AI model to select group. Yahoo! Elon Musk's artificial intelligence (AI) startup, xAI, will soon release its first AI model to a select group, according to the Tesla CEO. The move comes nearly a year after OpenAI's ChatGPT became popular, leading to an increase in the adoption of generative AI technology. Musk, who co-founded OpenAI in 2015 but stepped down from the board in 2018, stated that xAI's new model is the best that currently exists. The company will initially launch an early beta version of the Grok system, which will be available to all X Premium Plus subscribers once it is out of beta. Singapore may review past takeovers on national security grounds. Bloomberg. The Singapore government will have the power to block takeovers of key entities that are deemed to act against national security interests, as part of a new law expected to be enacted next year. The proposed significant investments review bill will require buyers to gain approval before reaching significant thresholds in their holdings, such as 25% or 50%. The law will apply to any entity incorporated, operating, or providing goods or services in Singapore. The move comes as Singapore tries to balance its relationships with the US and China amid growing tensions between the two superpowers. US chip export controls expose China's weak link in the semiconductor supply chain. South China Morning Post. New export control rules imposed by the US government have exposed China's lack of advanced chip-making equipment. The rules, which aim to hinder China's development of artificial intelligence (AI), restrict China's access to chip-making equipment from ASML and data center chips from NVIDIA. In particular, the rules prohibit Netherlands-based ASML from shipping certain deep ultraviolet lithography systems to China. This could have a significant impact on China's chip-making capabilities, especially in advanced nodes. The new rules come in addition to previous restrictions imposed on China's logic chip making and memory chip production. Chinese chip-related startups are now seeking investment funds to help fill the void left by banned foreign suppliers. Additionally, the U.S. Commerce Department has updated its export rules on AI processors, including GPUs, to further restrict China's access to high-performance chips. This could hinder China's progress in developing large AI models and limit its ability to use chiplet technology. OpenAI to make models cheaper, more powerful in its first developer conference. Reuters. OpenAI is expected to announce product enhancements during its first-ever developer conference that will make its AI models cheaper and more functional. The conference signals OpenAI's ambition to expand beyond being a consumer sensation to becoming a provider of a successful developer platform. The event is attracting hundreds of developers from around the world. OpenAI is known for its generative AI model, ChatGPT, which has become a popular tool for generating text, images, and software code. The company is expected to announce updates focused on cost reduction for developers and new vision capabilities that will enable its software to analyze and describe images. These updates are aimed at encouraging companies to use OpenAI's technology to build AI-powered applications. Update 1 FTC Chair Lina Khan looks for allies and leads in Silicon Valley charm offensive. Yahoo! Federal Trade Commission, FTC, Chair Lina Khan has sought to portray herself as a friend of startups during a two-day trip to Silicon Valley. Khan emphasized to representatives of tech firms and venture capital investors that she is keen to engage with entrepreneurs and to hear their views. She also highlighted the FTC's focus on artificial intelligence and concerns about the domination of the sector by a small number of companies. Khan's trip to Silicon Valley marked a change in her outreach strategy. A new museum of prohibited art shows how censorship evolved. Economist. The Museum of Prohibited Art in Barcelona showcases artworks that have been banned or censored in some way. The museum features pieces that mock religion, politicians, and societal norms. While artworks critiquing Christianity are often more explicit and provocative, those addressing Islam tend to be more restrained. The museum highlights the nature of censorship, including state bans, individual attacks, and self-censorship by artists. The exhibition also touches on how companies and institutions can suppress free expression, as seen in the case of Lego refusing to provide bricks to dissident artist Ai Weiwei. Letters. Politicians' blind faith in COVID models exposed the pitfalls of following the science. Telegraph. The blind faith in following the science during the COVID-19 pandemic is questioned in a letter to The Telegraph. The letter argues that political leaders and civil servants, who often lack a scientific background, should not have relied solely on mathematical modelers, social scientists, and epidemiologists. While these professionals play a vital role, they are not hard scientists like those who developed the COVID-19 vaccines. The letter suggests that decisions during the pandemic should have taken into account a wider range of perspectives, including economic considerations. Another letter highlights the failures of the Swedish response to COVID-19. The author argues that Sweden, under the guidance of epidemiologist Dr. Anders Tegnell, had a late and ineffective response to the pandemic, which resulted in a higher death rate compared to other Nordic countries. The letter suggests that the UK lockdown may have been counterproductive, but so was the Swedish non-response in the early months of the pandemic. Finally, a letter addresses concerns about artificial intelligence, AI. The author argues that while AI can be used for both good and evil purposes, in the hands of evil people, it will be used for evil ends. The letter suggests that AI poses a greater risk than politicians' intelligence. The Rishi Sunak and Elon Musk show. Financial Times. Rishi Sunak, the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer, recently hosted an AI summit at Bletchley Park and interviewed tech leader Elon Musk. The purpose of the summit was to discuss the potential of artificial intelligence and its impact on the economy. However, critics argue that the summit did not achieve much and was more of a PR opportunity for Sunak. In other news, the COVID-19 inquiry in the UK has revealed the shortcomings of the British state in handling the pandemic. The inquiry has shown that the government was ill-prepared and lacked the necessary infrastructure to respond effectively to the crisis. Overall, there is growing criticism of the government's approach to the pandemic and its handling of the inquiry. Slowing U.S. jobs growth fuels belief that rate rise cycle is ending. Financial Times. U.S. jobs growth in October fell below expectations, with the economy adding 150,000 new posts, while unemployment rose from 3.8% to 3.9%. The figures indicate a slowing of growth in the U.S. economy and have led investors to speculate that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates in the coming months. The yield on the 2-year U.S. Treasury note, which tracks interest rate expectations, fell to a 2-month low of 4.86% and U.S. stocks rose. The figures indicate that the Fed may have more work to do to meet its inflation target. Some investors believe long-term borrowing costs will rise due to issues such as an aging population and the energy transition, while central bankers believe further rate increases are possible. Taylor Swift grew Travis Kelce's podcast by more than 300,000 people. Bloomberg. The video podcast of professional sports player Travis Kelce reportedly experienced a 50% increase in viewership when rumors emerged about him dating Taylor Swift. Max Sovereign, EVP of Content and Strategy at media company Wave Sports Plus Entertainment, which produces the show, said the increase had not only been retained, but the channel had also added 350,000 subscribers since. The company uses social media to market its shows and focuses on athletes who can connect emotionally with their audience. AI to be used in hunt for £227 million Bitcoin fortune. BBC. James Howells, who claims to have lost a fortune in Bitcoin after accidentally throwing away his hard drive containing the digital currency, plans to use artificial intelligence, AI, to locate it. Howells estimates the value of the lost Bitcoins to be around £227 million, $296 million. He has spent the last decade petitioning the council in Newport, UK, for permission to excavate the landfill site where he believes the hard drive is buried. Howells has pledged to donate 25% of any funds retrieved to local community projects. The council has repeatedly refused his requests, citing environmental concerns. AI godfather Yoshua Benjo wins Canada's top science award. CBC. Yoshua Benjo, a pioneer in artificial intelligence, AI, and recipient of Canada's prestigious Herzberg Canada Gold Medal for Science and Engineering, has expressed concerns about the future of AI. Benjo, often referred to as the godfather of AI, has made significant contributions to the field through his work on artificial neural networks and deep learning. However, he has also been vocal about the potential risks and dangers associated with AI and has called for prompt and rigorous regulation. Benjo worries that AI systems may eventually surpass human intelligence and pose a threat if used in the wrong hands or if control is lost. He acknowledges that he should have anticipated these dangers earlier, but suggests that researchers may have been hesitant to consider the negative societal implications of their work. Benjo believes that regulation is necessary and calls for international cooperation to harmonize legislation and ensure that potentially dangerous AI systems are registered and that the organizations developing them take appropriate precautions. He also emphasizes the importance of democratic oversight and checks and balances to prevent power concentration. On a more optimistic note, Benjo sees the potential for AI to revolutionize scientific discovery in fields such as biology by helping to analyze complex data and develop theories that could lead to breakthroughs in understanding and treatment. Exclusive: China took part in leaders' AI meeting even though UK did not acknowledge. Reuters. China participated in a top-level ministerial meeting at the UK AI Safety Summit, despite not being listed as one of the like-minded participants. China's absence from the second day of the summit sparked questions, as it had participated in the first day. China's delegate to the meeting, Vice Minister of Science and Technology Wu Jiahui, was present on the second day, though his presence was not publicly acknowledged. Possible reasons for not advertising China's presence include the desire to present a united front and China's lack of support for the joint agreement on AI model testing. China's participation in the summit had been criticized by some British lawmakers. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who chaired the meeting, did not directly address the question of China's exclusion from the final day but stated that he achieved the outcome he wanted with China's engagement in the process. SBF's fall isn't just a morality tale. It's a warning to regulators. Bloomberg. The conviction of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried highlights the need for regulation in the cryptocurrency industry, according to an op-ed in Bloomberg. The article argues that criminal law is not an effective deterrent to wrongful action when individuals believe they are not doing anything wrong or assume they will not be caught. Regulation, on the other hand, can operate ex ante to prevent harm before it occurs. The op-ed suggests that public disclosure, which is a key aspect of financial regulation, would allow for an open discussion and better inform people's actions in the market. Analysis: AI Summit a start but global agreement a distant hope. Reuters. The UK has hosted its first Artificial Intelligence (AI) Safety Summit, with leaders from 28 nations signing the Bletchley Declaration, a joint statement acknowledging the risks of AI. The UK and the US also announced plans to launch their own AI safety institutes. However, while there was consensus on the need to regulate AI, there were disagreements on how to do so and who should lead the efforts. Attendees from the EU expressed concerns about too much technology and data being held by a small number of companies in the US. The UK has proposed a light-touch approach to AI regulation, in contrast to Europe's AI Act, which will impose stricter controls on developers of high-risk applications. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the 6-degree world, here to bring you the latest news and analysis from around the globe. Let's dive right in. Elon Musk's AI startup, xAI, is set to release its first AI model to a select group. Musk, always known for his bold claims, says it's the best AI model that currently exists. Meanwhile, Singapore is planning to review past takeovers on national security grounds, a move that reflects the delicate balancing act the country is trying to maintain between the US and China. And speaking of China, new export control rules imposed by the US are exposing China's weak link in the semiconductor supply chain, which could have significant implications for its chip-making capabilities. OpenAI, the company behind the popular ChatGPT model, is holding its first developer conference, where they are expected to announce product enhancements that will make their AI models cheaper and more powerful. And in a surprising move, the chair of the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, Lina Khan, has been reaching out to tech firms and venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, signaling a change in her outreach strategy. In other news, a museum of prohibited art in Barcelona is showcasing artworks that have been banned or censored in some way, highlighting the nature of censorship in our society. And in letters to the Telegraph, the blind faith in following the science during the COVID-19 pandemic is questioned, with critics arguing that decisions should have taken into account a wider range of perspectives. Moving on, the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak, recently hosted an AI summit and interviewed tech leader Elon Musk. However, critics argue that the summit was more of a PR opportunity for Sunak. And in the US, slowing job growth has fueled speculation that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates in the coming months. In the world of entertainment, Taylor Swift's rumored relationship with professional sports player Travis Kelce reportedly boosted his podcast's viewership by 50%. And in a fascinating story, a man who claims to have lost a fortune in Bitcoin plans to use AI to locate it, highlighting the growing role of AI in various aspects of our lives. Canadian AI godfather Yoshua Benjo has won a prestigious science award but has expressed concerns about the future of AI and the potential risks it poses. Benjo calls for prompt regulation and international cooperation to ensure the responsible development and use of AI technology. Lastly, there's been controversy surrounding China's participation in a UK AI safety summit, with China not being publicly acknowledged on the final day. The conviction of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried also highlights the need for regulation in the cryptocurrency industry, as criminal law alone is not an effective deterrent. Well, that's all the news and analysis for today, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the latest happenings in the world. Now it's your turn to join the discussion. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any burning questions? I'm here to answer them all. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.